the name Wrexham generates clicks, so we are starting now to get linked with absolutely everybody.
Yeah.
Like, who? And I see our fans getting absolutely incandescent on Twitter about it. What on earth are they doing trying to sign this guy? Like, none of us have heard of him before.
Our next guest is, apart from anything else, a very handsome man.
Very handsome fella.
He described himself as a big lump, but I'd say he's a tall, handsome man. Good morning to Humphrey Kerr.
Yay!
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Humphrey.
One of the stars of Welcome to Wrexham.
Thank you. The star in many respects.
Yes.
No, that's the pub landlord.
Yeah, fair enough.
Who does look like James O'Brien? We've said that before, but
Yeah, he does.
He does a bit.
How are you?
I'm very well.
First of all, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Incredible achievement.
Back-to-back promotions.
Yeah.
Since you got involved.
Yes. I don't know that I'm
No,
the
you
secret
are.
source.
You
Am
are.
I think so.
Thank
Oh,
you.
well, let's look at the facts, okay? When you weren't at Wrexham,
Yeah.
they weren't doing great.
19th in the National League.
Since you got to Wrexham, back-to-back promotions.
Yeah,
That is true.
there is a common
Facts.
denominator. Isn't there?
Those are facts. Yeah.
Have you asked for a pay rise?
No, but maybe this is the forum to do it.
You need an
Lads,
agent.
Listen to the show.
You need an agent.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you need.
Yeah. To be
you-
honest, I do fall into that trap of just being like, God, I can't believe I get to do this.
Oh, you idiot.
Which is a big mistake.
Yeah, you need an
I
agent.
need to start being a real jerk.
You really do.
Just
Throw your weight
just
around.
pushing the ball boys over every
Yes,
time I go in
absolutely.
the
Trip them
stadium.
up when they're not looking.
You know the Canadian man and the American man?
I know them.
Yeah, you know they've got agents.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all there in front of you.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I should get one.
I think so.
If there, well, I do have an agent. I was about to say, if there are any agents out there listening, do call, but my real agent might hear that and be like, what?
Well, your real agent needs to... How about this? Would you like to become mayor of Wrexham?
Oh, goodness. It's kind of, mayor of Wrexham is like an honorary position, so it does rotate quite frequently. So yeah, why not one day?
Is there anything now that if you guys said, we want to do this in Wrexham, do you think they would literally just go, absolutely no problem, whatever you want to do? If you go, we want to build a theme park, or we want to create a row of shops with a water slide above, and into a massive ball pit. I honestly think they go, okay, great.
I think they give us a hearing, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I think Rob and Ryan in particular, obviously amazingly popular in Wrexham and North Wales. And I think they, I don't want to borrow from President Trump, but if they shot someone on Wrexham High Street, I think you'd struggle to find a witness. Basically.
God,
Yeah.
But you wouldn't, though, of course, because you want everybody in Wrexham to go to the games and buy the merch.
True. And we do have a documentary, so the documentary would definitely film them shooting someone.
Oh, he's good, isn't he? So you got straight back onto unplugging the documentary.
Very good.
No flies on you.
Certainly not.
Season 4
Yes.
of Welcome to Wrexham, which is now on Disney Plus. I was saying this morning, for people who haven't watched it, if you're not into football, you can absolutely enjoy. It's like a really weird version of Drive to Survive.
Sure.
Because you can really enjoy it even if you don't know much about football, because it explains a lot.
Yeah.
And it's also very helpful that it explains a lot of detail to an American audience.
Yeah.
So it's really helpful if you go, I don't really know what that means.
Yeah.
And then it explains it.
I think lots of diehard football fans may be watching like, why are you telling me what a corner is, or how yellow cards work? But yeah, I mean, the documentary is aimed at a more casual football watcher.
Yeah,
and I think a lot of people come to it because they like Rob and Ryan, or they're intrigued by the sort of the hullabaloo around it, and then come in and realise that you don't have to be obsessed with the football. The football is obviously a massively important part of it, but the reason why I think people like it as much as they do, as opposed to All or Nothing or any of those other really great in-depth football documentaries, is as much as anything, it's about the people of the town. It's about the best bits are always around our fans and around our players and their kind of home lives and what's going on with them, rather than anything to do with Rob or Ryan or really what's happening on the pitch. It's the humanity, and that's the universal thing that people seem to like.
It's a really good watch. And as I say, it's a quirky little show. There are some episodes that seem to be an hour and some episodes that seem to be 12 minutes. There are some episodes that I'm thinking at some point don't even feature the club or any of the players. And then there's other ones that are just all about the fans. The fellow who runs the pub right outside the grounds, he's in it a lot.
Yeah.
and also the man that runs the food truck outside. He's at a lot because he's the same man.
Yes, that's right.
But everybody, it's a lovely feel to it. It's a really nice feel, and it makes you want to get involved. I want to get involved. I do. Is it too late?
Well, I don't know, Chris. It just depends on what. I mean, when you say involved, how?
Well.
Good question.
Well, obviously, we talked about wanting to do our show from down there, but it's only because Global, our bosses, are so tight with money that they won't pay for it.
We will do it at some point.
We will do it.
Will, yeah.
Have you got a DJ there? Do you have anyone playing?
Well, yes, yeah. You know, there's a wide array of folks that provide the entertainment in and around the stadium, and we want to single any one of them out as a weak link. So you know, they're all really good.
Yes.
But listen, I mean, we would love to have you guys come, because one of the things that, again, if you watch the documentary, you'll see is that it's not just about the football club, it's about the town as a whole, and having events happen there. And, you know, we've helped to try and kind of foster, there's a bit of a comedy festival that goes on in Wrexham now, and you know, anything and everything that brings more attention, more interest, more things for people to do, especially more cultural things like having you guys there. We would love that.
The capacity of the ground is what?
So it was last season, it was about 13,000. We've just taken down our temporary stand to start building a full-size one there. So next season, it's going to be about 10,500 or something.
Right, okay. But so you could put on concerts.
Yes, yeah. We had Kings of Leon there a couple of summers ago.
You did?
Yes, yeah. Stereophonics is still spoken about in like hushed whispers when they came to town about 10 years ago. Very, very popular in Wrexham. So, yeah, I mean, look, going forward, that's absolutely what we want to do. And we're building a 5,500 seat stand, which is like a great giant bank, like a sort of cop, effectively. It was our cop way back when.
Yeah.
Football fans know lots of stadiums have their own version of the cop. And once that's built, that's going to be an amazing backdrop, essentially, for, or even, you know, for smaller concerts, you can play in front of a 5,500 seat, and it's got safe standing, so you can get more people on there and stuff as well. So it's exciting. We want to do all that stuff. I'm fascinated by so many aspects of it. Obviously, the team back-to-back promotions is amazing, and you're going to be in the Championship now. I know, rather you are.
Which is incredible.
It's just unfortunate that you don't get to play Leeds United just yet.
We're not too sad about that, because Leeds United are a very good football team.
Well,
so quite happy to see the back of them.
The way it's going, one more season, and then hopefully you'll be playing Leeds in the Premier League. If we're still there.
Yeah, well, Leeds will still be there, and Wrexham will be there with them. Yeah. Well, everyone will be happy.
Wouldn't that be an exciting thing?
Oh, yeah.
What's been the reaction to Wrexham's success in the sort of outside world of football, if you like, with other clubs, managers?
Do you know what? Everywhere I have gone, every boardroom I've gone into, every group of fans I've met away games have been so welcoming and friendly and nice and sort of positive in a way that I wasn't really expecting. I always cite going to Mansfield Town away last year, where we were sort of battling them for promotion.
Right.
And I'm at that stage was quite a heavy smoker. Not anymore, kids, because I'm a real hero.
That's good.
But I would always, before the game, I'd have like 2 cigarettes in the car park. Then at half time, I'd come down, smoke 2 cigarettes really quickly, and then again sort of at the end. And I remember at half time coming out of the sort of boardroom area and suddenly realising I was like, all right, I'm right in the middle of just all Mansfield fans. And because of the documentary, people recognise me. And like people sort of surged towards me, and I was like, oh God, what's going to happen now? And they were all so nice and so friendly. Nice. And oh yeah, we watched the show, we like it, and like, you know, I hope we smash you today and all that stuff, which is very, very acceptable. Everyone's been incredibly nice. I mean, you see online lots of people like, oh, they're ruining football and it's disgraceful, and like this is everything that's wrong with modern football. But you do end up slightly being like, well, hang on, there's a lot of football clubs that are going out of business because their owners are grinding money out of the fans.
And also, just because you've got loads of money behind you, there's no guarantee that you were going to get back-to-back promotions. Sure. I mean, it's never been done before.
No. And the other bonkers thing about us is that we've actually lived within our means. So we have spent, you know, in the National League, we spent way more than anyone else. League 2, we spent a fair bit more than everyone else. League 1, we basically were spending about the same or less than a number of other clubs. I mean, Birmingham spent way more than we did. And, you know, I think Huddersfield spent about the same, various other teams. But all our money comes from sponsorship. So we get crazy sponsorship because of the documentary, because of Robin Ryan.
Yeah.
So everyone's like, oh, you know, they're going to run into PSR problems and financial fair play is going to catch up and they're going to get bored and blah, blah, blah. It's like they actually have only been spending what we've been earning so far.
Yeah.
So So shut up, people.
But, well,
you'll always get there.
But it's a jealousy thing, because it's not a fair argument to go, well, what Wrexham are doing, they're going to ruin football there. And then you look over your shoulder at Manchester City and Chelsea and everything like that. And it's still actually not a fair fight. No. Even now, it's not a fair fight. So it's just a jealousy thing. Yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah, I think so. And, listen, it's sort of, I understand who likes seeing another football team thrive. You want your team to do well. There's probably there's a version of it that's the Corinthian ideal, where it's like you only play lads that are born within a 10-mile radius of your stadium, and you still, everybody's got to be, you've got to be the Lisbon Lions all over again. And that's just not the way it works anymore. So, we'll keep doing what we're doing, and if people don't like it, then that's their problem.
That's tough.
Exactly.
When it comes to the finances, because that's the other side of things, is all right. So if you look at it as negatively as you want, right, and you go, these two Hollywood people, or a big Hollywood person and Rob, they come in and they buy the club and they've got loads of money and they don't care and this and the other. And you watch 2 episodes of the documentary, even episode 1, and you can see that straight away there's just a lovely affinity and a bonding thing, I think.
Yeah.
But also, if you want to lose a lot of money very quickly, that you buy a football club.
Yes.
Because you don't make money out of owning a club. Now, let's just say, if you want to be really negative, the guys bought the club and the club's done really well, but every time you go up, you need to spend more money.
Yeah.
To give that temporary stand, it costs money. To fix this problem, it costs money. And now, every time you get promoted, there's a bit more money, but there's more money to spend.
Oh, and
some would argue, each time you get promoted, it costs you more money than you're actually getting in.
Oh yes, yeah, no question. I mean, it also comes down to kind of the margins for error get much more brutal, or the ramifications of errors get much more brutal. So in the National League, if we sign a player and he doesn't work out, it's like, oh well, that's 500 quid a week down the drain. If you're going into the Championship, where you're starting to see the upper ends of the Championship, players getting paid £25,000 to £40,000 a week. If you sign someone like that and they injure themselves, or they turn out to have some issue that means that they don't deliver what you're expecting, you're suddenly losing 40 grand a week. It's like going up the spout. So we're very aware that, like, so far it's all gone really, really well, but it might suddenly go really, really badly, and we'll have to find a way to navigate that is ideally as effective and innovative as what we've done positively so far. But we'll see.
The club being worth more money, does that help? But the way I see it is, and I'm no expert, is because obviously the valuation of the club has obviously over the last 3 seasons grown, and some people are now saying it might be worth 150 million or whatever. But you don't have that money.
No.
It's just what the club's worth.
Yeah.
So what does the club do? Can the club borrow because it's worth more, or does it try and stay out of borrowing and just rely upon...
We've tried to stay away from borrowing, because obviously that comes with a lot of... demands on you. And again, if that £40,000 a week striker doesn't work out, suddenly the lenders come along being like, so when do we start getting our money back, and all that kind of thing. So I mean, what has happened is we've had some minority owners came in, a family called the Allens from upstate New York, who Rob and Ryan had met with, got along with really well. They've come along there. We've really struck lucky with them because they basically have exactly the same sentiments that we all have. They love, when I first met them, I was chatting away to Eric and Kayleen, who are the kind of the Kayleen sits on the board with us now. Eric is the sort of patriarch of the family. Met them in Vancouver on our pre-season tour, and they looked over my shoulder and saw Wayne from the Turf and from the Butty van, and they were like, oh my god, it's Wayne. It's Wayne. I was like, what? Yes, it's Wayne. Do you want to meet him? And they're like, whoa, yes. And so what they are into is the people in the town and all that kind of stuff, much more than the kind of any of the glitz and glamour that comes with around Rob and Ryan. So they bought a stake in the club at a very respectable chunk of money, and that goes into the club to be used for infrastructure work, players, all that kind of thing. But really, where the money comes from, as I said before, is sponsorship. So now we go up into the Championship. The money that we can command for that is bigger. The amount of money we get paid for TV is bigger. But yeah, you're right that those increases are usually outstripped by what it costs to
Could I buy a
buy
percent?
A percent? I'm not authorised to say yes or no, Chris, but I can put you in touch with the people that are.
Could we have a conversation at least?
Yeah.
I mean,
when you say 8%, do you want like just 1%? Yeah, 1%.
Well, like with Leeds, like Russell Crowe owns a piece of Leeds.
He does.
Farrell owns a piece of Leeds. I don't know what piece it is. 0.5%? Is it or a tenth of a percent or something?
Maybe.
You know, it'd be a great story. You know, you've got Wrexham, of course.
Yeah.
And Leeds-born Chris Moyles.
Yeah, of course.
It's a good
I mean,
story.
it's
a match made in heaven.
It writes itself in a way.
You probably have to start calling Rob not just and the other one for that to...
But then, if everyone starts calling Rob by his actual name and pronouncing it correctly, that'll lose a bit of fun, isn't it? Because I always think it was Rob's idea, and everyone goes, "Oh, Ryan Reynolds and Wrexham."
Oh yeah,
and you gotta go. It's kind of Rob though, and they go, "Oh yeah, Rob thingy. What's his name?"
He's incredibly good-spirited about that because you're completely right, which is that every headline is like Ryan Reynolds, Wrexham releases 14 players at the end of the season.
Yes,
and it's like, oh well, he's not the only one.
Yeah.
Also, he didn't release them, just to be clear.
But when it's a story like that, though, I'm sure Rob's like, no, let Ryan have it all.
Ryan's club.
We often laugh about, there was a break-in at the training ground and someone stole one of our mowers. And it was like, there was the headline on the sort of Express was like, Ryan Reynolds' mower stolen from Wrexham shed. To be fair, he was never off that thing.
Is there any update on the mower?
I believe the perps have been brought to justice by North
Please
Wales
keep
Police.
us in the loop on this.
Yeah.
I'm not happy with that. Can I ask you some questions from our lovely listeners?
Please.
All right. Alan says, have Wrexham signed Jamie Vardy?
No.
Okay.
Right. That's that then.
Okay.
Are you looking at Jamie Vardy?
No.
Patrick Bamford?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Actually, I should stop doing this because eventually you might see someone I have to be like, yes. No, I mean, I will say that obviously, one of the things, much like Ryan Reynolds, the name Wrexham generates clicks, so we are starting now to get linked with absolutely everybody. Yeah. Like, who? And I see our fans getting absolutely incandescent on Twitter about what on earth are they doing trying to sign this guy? Like, none of us have heard of him before.
And you're going to have a whole summer of this, aren't you?
Yes,
you're going to get linked with everyone.
Oh, well, let's start a rumour then. So you've said no to those two.
Okay.
So I'll just give you another name. Just say I'm not saying anything.
Yeah.
Pele? Right.
Oh, okay.
How's that?
Silence speaks volumes there.
Here's the one. Daniel says, Chris, what a phenomenal story the Wrexham win is, but can you please ask Humphrey, with peace and love, to stay away from the Fulham captain, Tom Kearney, please? And that's from Daniel, who's a Fulham fan.
Daniel, you got it.
Oh, okay. Jeez, they're not signing anybody.
Well, he's a brilliant player, Tom Kearney, and I'm sure we'd be very grateful to have him. But he is the very specific instance, I thought, of where our fans were like, I'm not sure about this. I don't know what they're doing. What does this mean about our transfer thing? We haven't had that conversation.
Don't forget, they're the louder voices. There are many Wrexham fans who are going, you can do what you like. I'm very happy.
Absolutely. I will also say I'm a bit of a Grinch about that because actually one of the most fun things about being a football fan is speculating about transfers and why I want to be out here crushing everyone else's good times.
Absolutely. Who are you linked with today? It's all that, isn't it? Yeah, massive.
I first discovered Humphrey in the amazing comedy group, The Penny Dreadfuls.
Thank you, old-time listener.
With everything that is going on with the TV, writing in Wrexham, do you miss performing? And what are your strongest memories from the early days in comedy, says Neil.
What a great question, Neil. Well, I'm soon to be returning to live comedy performance in the play Sherlock Holmes and the 12 Days of Christmas, written by me and David Reed from The Penny Dreadfuls, which is on at the Birmingham Repertory Theatre this year. November the 14th to January the 14th or something like that.
When are tickets available?
Tickets are widely available, yes.
Right now?
How do we get those tickets?
Get those, you go to birminghamrep.com /.net / Sherlock Holmes, something like that.
You know,
awesome.
I'm glad that you're performing again, but it's a bit sad that back-to-back promotions and you're having to do panto this year just to get a bit of coin in.
Well, I wrote the play as well, it's...
I heard you say that. I said that for comic effect.
Oh, did you? Oh, sorry, so sorry, Chris.
You wrote it with the guy from the Penny Dreadfuls.
Yes, Danny, we are playing Sherlock and Watson in it. Songs, there you go. That's it there.
Oh, which one? This one?
That one.
Have you had
on the
to
website
get
now?
time off work?
Well, the great thing is that first of all, working for two actors, they're very like, you go do acting stuff. That's the most important job in the world. because we bring joy to people, they say. And I'm like, yeah, okay, thanks. But I mean, I'll still continue kind of doing my Wrexham stuff just from my dressing room in Birmingham rather than from LA. I mean, I live in LA, you know, most of the time.
Right.
And actually, for the days off we've got and stuff, it's not far from Wrexham, so I'll be popping through Wrexham a lot.
I told you, Jamie, no. 5 minutes? Okay, I'll be there in a second. I'm sorry, Patrick, it's a no.
Yeah.
Right, what do I need to wrap up then before we go? So, pre-season friendlies, have you announced your pre-season friendly?
We are going to Australia this year, summer, Australia and New Zealand. We're playing Melbourne Victory and Sydney FC and Wellington Phoenix in New Zealand. Yeah,
great.
So going out there for 3 games, and I think we've got a couple here. I can't remember. I think maybe one before we go out there and one when we get back.
Is Everton one of those?
Not that I know of.
Okay. Somebody just texted it.
No, it's also the rumour that I've also like, ooh, Everton. I mean, this is the funny thing is that you find yourself, despite being able to like pick up the phone and ask the specific person that books it, being like, oh, I wonder if we are going to play Everton. That'd be really cool.
No one's told me.
Yeah.
Well, look, I'm so excited to go. I really want to go.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been saying it now, but we just got to get
I'd love
there.
to.
Tickets are hard to get, obviously, but
we can help you out.
thanks.
Oh, thanks,
I mean, I'll pay. I'm good for it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. What's the corporate hospitality like?
Much better is the general
Good
consensus
food.
that I've heard from people that go in there.
Yeah.
We've you know, it's a very small ground. It's 10,000 seats, very old, and lots of bits of it. You know, the one complaint we get over and over again still after 3 promotions is people being like, I cannot get a pie and a pint in the Wrexham Lager stand, the ironically named Wrexham Lager stand, where they can't get hold of Wrexham Lager because it's so old and the kiosks are rubbish and we don't have a heating tray, we have this and that. But in the hospitality areas, we've been you know, we looked after the prawn sandwich brigade, of course. We know how football works.
That's it.
We treated our real fans like scum.
I'll bring
given the fancy boys. If you listen, you'll be very.
I'll bring pies and we'll hand them out. How about that?
0.5% of the club for a big pie.
Yeah. Not 10,000 pies, though. That's too much. All the best. Lovely to see
Thank you.
Congratulations again. The 4th series is now on Disney Plus of Welcome to Wrexham, and if you've not seen any of them, watch them all. They're a really good watch. And best of luck in the championship.
Thank you.
It's going to be great. Ladies and gentlemen, from Wrexham, Mr. Humphrey Kerr.
Radio X.